Hey guys, today I am doing a full face tutorial and I'm going to be starting with the Stila One Step Correct Primer. I put one pump on both sides of my face and then I spread that all over. And then I give it a couple minutes to set before I start any of my foundations, but today I'm going to be starting with my eyes. So I'm going in with the Born This Way multi-use concealer, and I like to use this as an eye primer. It's a really good base, so I just put a dab on both eyes, and then I am going in with a brush to blend that out. I'm just going to blend that all the way up into my inner corner, and all the way up to my brow bone. And then I'm going to be doing that to both sides. Next, I'm going in with my favorite palette, the Heaps of Sweet by Shannon. If you don't know her, she has a website, XO Beauty. And this is her very first branded palette. I couldn't think of that word. So I'm going in with the shade Caramel, and I'm just putting that all over my lid. And I am using a brush by It Cosmetics, and it's just an all-over shadow and crease brush. I'm putting that color all over my eyelid into the inner corner. I'm going to do that on both sides. And I'm slowly going to start deepening the crease. I'm going in with my next shade, which is a little bit darker, and I'm going to use that on my outer V to make that nice and deep and bring that straight into my crease. Once I finish that, I'll be going in with a different brush with the same color, and I'm going to try to do a halo effect, and I'm going to put that on my inner corner as well and make sure that the crease is connected, leaving the very ball of my eye free of color. These colors are very easy to blend and very pigmented with just one tap of your brush. I love Shan XO's channel. If you haven't checked her out, you really should do so. She is a really down-to-earth, awesome person, and I love her palette. Next, I'm just going back in with that It Cosmetics brush, and I'm just making sure everything's blended really well and I have some nice soft edges. I'm going to go in with that sparkly coppery brown color now, and I'm going to put that in the center of my eye. And I'm just trying out this color dry right now, and it does have very good pigmentation, but feel free to use some of your setting spray to wet the brush and use the color wet. I'm sure the colors would come through even more vibrant, but I am just kind of using this as a base today, so I don't need it to be that opaque. Again, just going in with my blending brush, making sure all of my lines are blended nicely, no harsh lines. I started with my base today because I knew I was going to be using a sparkly color, so I just wanted to make sure if there was any fallout, which there was a bit, as you would expect with most glitter pigments. There's some fallout, but you just take a brush and you just swipe it off your face. Next, I'm going in with the Stila Metallic Magnificent Metal in the shade Wonderlust, and I'm just putting a dab of that on the ball of my eye, and then I am blending it out with my finger all the way into my inner lid. I'm going to do that to both eyes, and that just really brings out that color. Next, I'm going in with foundation, and I am using the Born This Way foundation in the shade Pearl. I put a dab of that on both sides of my face again, And I'm using a beauty blender, which needs to be cleaned, to blend that all over my face, making sure to go up to my hairline and down my neck a little bit because I don't want any harsh lines where my face bends. Just blending that all over. And you can see it is a medium buildable coverage. If you want more coverage, just go in with another pump and blend it out the same way. Now I'm going back in with my Born This Way concealer under my eyes, also blending it out with a beauty blender. To set that, I'm going to use my Too Faced translucent powder with a small face brush, also by XO Beauty. All her products are vegan and cruelty-free. I'm just going to use that under my eyes since it's a very fine powder. Next, I'm going to be using a large face brush with my MAC Studio Fix powder for all over my face. This will provide some extra coverage and setting powder. So if you don't want a full coverage, I would suggest just going in with a couple of pumps of your foundation and then finishing off with the MAC powder because it will provide a bit more coverage rather than going in with more foundation. Next, I am taking the sparkly sugar color in the palette, and I'm just putting that on my inner corners with a small eye definer brush. And I'm just going to use some setting spray now just to make sure everything stays in place. I know I probably used too much, but I love this setting spray. It has such a fine mist. It doesn't leave any globs on your face, and it has a nice sweet smell. And next, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner Better Than Sex Mascara and some falsies, which I'll do off camera for you. And that is pretty much the finished look, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Just had to touch up my mascara a little bit after I put on the false eyelashes. Still a beginner at this, but, you know, I'll get there eventually. Using these types of lashes and glue really helps me. And once again, I'm going to just add a little bit more setting spray, just to make sure everything stays in place for a long day. And once that's on, it just needs to dry, and that would be the finished look. I feel like this is a really nice everyday look. Have a good night, you guys. Bye.